market looks okay, but confidence doesn't. Why?
It's time to guard your savings with Dolph Janis.
Growth for tomorrow, liquidity for today, and of course, income
You can never outlive.
Welcome into Guard Your Savings podcast. Your host is Dolph Janis. You can find him, again, very easily right here in the Charlotte market. Clear Income Strategies Group, financial advisor, over 20 years of experience helping his clients get ready for retirement. I'm Morgan Patrick. Pleasure to jump on the podcast with Dolph. Again, we're going to offer up no cost, no obligation, no pressure appointments with Clear Income Strategies Group right here in Charlotte. So stay tuned for that. We'll tell you more about his book, Cross the Bridge. That is coming up. Dolph, as we start every podcast, man. How was the week?
Every week I'm here. I mean, the weather is just shifting. The golf greens are getting faster. Everything is just fantastic. I just love life. I just don't like to watch the news, forget about the news, just focus on what's ahead, take care of my clients, take care of the weekends, take care of the family, boom, 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 boom.
Well, I tell you, you mentioned the greens and the speed of the greens, and when the greens speed up, that's really kind of the separating factor when it comes to quality golfers as opposed to maybe the weekend warrior. And I think of planning kind of the same way. I mean, you've got a situation out there where there are a lot of options for people, but you really want to go with a professional, somebody that does this. This is what they do every single day, and therefore you kind of separate yourself from everybody else because you have that customized plan. And we're going to get into a couple of conversations today. I'm sure there'll be some Seinfeld references. I'm looking forward to that. We've already had our first golf reference, which is fantastic, and I understand your golf game is really coming on par, as they like to say. So there's a strange moment happening, and we're kind of seeing it right now. Portfolios, they're not collapsing, but confidence isn't exactly soaring either. And this disconnect is where this real story starts, and we're going to talk about it. So why do retirees still feel uneasy even when the markets are performing reasonably well? And we've seen this over the last several years. Off
and on, volatility is just crazy. I mean, just because confidence doesn't come from a statement, it comes from clarity. And chapter in my book, The 4 C's of Life, one of those 4 C's is clarity, along with comfort and certainty. I mean, you can have a positive quarter and still feel unsure if you don't know what translates into income. And you can add different headlines and recession and rate changes and global tension and gas prices skyrocketing, and all that background noise creates uncertainty. We want certainty. Even good news right now feels temporarily because people feel like something else is right behind it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, when's the roof going to cave in? I mean, if you follow sports, all these teams that are up 3-1 and having all the confidence of the world right now, and then they're losing the next 3 games and they're out of the playoffs. I've never seen so many 3-1 series or 3-0 series flip-flop. And it's the uncertainty of these teams with the lead is kind of like your portfolio. You have this uncertainty of, do I have enough income? I have this client right now. His company's closing prematurely. He wanted to retire in 3 years. He's 67 years old. He's had a great life. He's got a wonderful wife and family. And he's like, Dolph, now it's like I'm being forced to retire in September. Am I okay? I'm like, so we went through the whole portfolio, did reviews. I said, well, thankfully, David, we've been seeing each other every year for the last 9 years. I said, your income is set. You know, you actually could have retired last year, but you wanted to work 2 more years and so forth. And you just did that. Boom. David is in the right place because he now has enough income guaranteed, and he has extra money aside if he needs it in case of inflation or this uncertainty set for him. My question to the people out there listening, do you have that situation? Do you have your income set up that you know you're going to have a paycheck coming in no matter what happens? Because I'm sorry, Morgan, too many places are closing down right now or reshuffling. I mean, look at Spirit Airlines. You saw that story, right?
Overnight. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, 17,000. You've been working. Let's just say you're working with Spirit and you're 2 years away from retiring, and now you're like, boom, you're out. Now what? That's the whole thing is when you're working the portfolio with all this certainty, uncertainty is what's next? Now what's going to happen?
Well, you don't know. And the one thing that you can do is you can be proactive when it comes to your money, your portfolio. And if you're just sitting on a portfolio, we've said this before on the podcast, Dolph, we applaud that. You've saved well. You've worked really hard for your money. But a portfolio is not a plan. sitting there working for you, yes, but it's still in the market. What's going to happen if something drastic changes tomorrow, next week, next month, and everybody's talking about a correction, but we've just been seeing, the market go like a rocket? Are you prepared for any kind of subtle change, drastic change? This is about planning. Now, the opportunity to get on the calendar with Clear Income Strategies Group, sit across the table from Dolph Janis and his team and talk about your portfolio, maybe talk about your current plan, maybe talk about a second opinion. It comes at no cost, no obligation, no pressure. And you can do this at any time during the podcast. You can jot our number down. You can call us later. But grab one of these appointments, 704-919-0149. Again, that's 704-919-0149. That'll get you in touch with Clear Income Strategies Group. No cost, no obligation, no pressure. So you said this, so let's get into this. 24/7 news cycle. It is everywhere. It's on your phone. It's on the radio. It's on your television. How has it changed retirement behavior?
I'm going to ask a flip question to you, Morgan. How has all the new technology in golf changed your behavior with golf?
That's true. That's true. Now, back in the day, because we're in the same bracket. I mean, I used to get Golf Digest, right?
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, and I would flip through that, and this was back when I was self-taught, and I would try all the new stuff almost every single month, and I would go to the range, and I would get frustrated, and my golf game would suffer. So yes, there's a lot of stuff out there, but you really need to have it more defined. You need to have clarity when it comes to your golf lesson and your golf game. Same thing goes for retirement.
100%. You couldn't answer that any better. So kudos to you, because just because you're reading something in the news doesn't mean it's the best thing for you. And if you watch any, I don't think I'm allowed to mention the stations, but you can make 10 stations out there of your choice, any 10 stations, and watch them cover a certain section of what happened today with Spirit or any other headline news that's happened out there. You're going to get 10 different versions of what happened, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, you have the start of something, you have what happened, and you have the finishing product. Our podcast, we start by saying hello, we go through our podcast, we finish, boom. That's a section of the whole thing. Retirement planning is the same thing. You got to tune in to the start and feel like, where's the planning? Where's the portfolio? Where am I going to head out? What do I want to do going forward? And then you enter the stage of retirement. I mean, real-time emotional experiences change people's behavior. Years ago, you might check your portfolio once a quarter. Now it's like once a week. Now it's once a day. And now there's people out there are checking it every hour because the news is changing the way people think. And that's not the way it's happened. I mean, the feds will comment, every geographical headline becomes a political decision point, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to go on to my color anchor, Sue. What do you think about this, Sue? Well, I don't think that's acceptable. It's just an attention-grabbing moment for us. But retirees feel like they're fine, and they should do something if they feel like it. Well, now what do you think? Even the best move is not doing nothing. See, that whole conversation I just made for that last 35 seconds made absolute no sense. So if you're watching these guys and trying to pay attention to them, what did you just learn from that? As Seinfeld just said, God, I wish I could have that last minute of my life back. I mean, that literally happens all the time. How many times did he say that to Kramer? Kramer's eating a fruit. God, I wish I could have that last minute of my life back. That's what it is. I mean, you got to go to what you trust. You get your second opinion. If someone says your swing is horrible, Morgan, are you going to stay with that pro, or are you going to go get a second opinion and see if the other guy can revamp it?
Oh, yeah. I'm second opinion all day. All day.
And I think one of the things that comes in, I know a lot of advisors out there. I got great company out in Arizona I'm with right now that they work with, and we talk all these, we're very family-like oriented. Is like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. If you say it correctly, and then on the flip side, you tell them the truth. Don't tell them what they want to hear. Tell them what they need to hear. And that's a lot of times where the news has gone wrong, in my opinion. And a lot of other things out there, social medias, they're telling you what you want to hear. Oh, Morgan, you got the best putting stroke I've ever seen.
Don't change a thing.
Don't change a thing. Just buy a new putter. And it's like, well,
from me.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like, it looks good on you, though. It looks great on you. And that's where I think we're falling into that uncomfortable uncertainty in retirement planning.
I tell you, it's refreshing, and you hear Dolph. He's always on the move. He's working with others in his industry. He's learning from them. They're learning from him. It is continuing education. And again, when you get together with advisors from around the country, Dolph, and you can talk about this, you guys share ideas. You talk about things that are going on out west, things that are going, up north, down south, right there in Charlotte. You have these conversations and you bring that information back to, the Charlotte area.
100%. I mean, what Charlotte's known for is very rarely do you find people from Charlotte. I mean, they're from all over the place. They moved to Charlotte. Like when I go to Texas, went on a cruise a couple months ago, everybody on the cruise was from Texas. Everybody lives in Texas, stays in Texas. But talking to different advisors from out west and the Midwest, the South, the East, everywhere, it's amazing the different behavioral patterns people have from Florida all the way up to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as they call it, to Michigan, all the way out to California. They have different behavioral. So what might work for someone in California or Arizona doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for them in Florida or Michigan or North Carolina. So I love talking to other advisors weekly. We have meetings with them weekly and just keeping in touch with people and see, hey, what's right? Because if I meet you and you're from, let's say you're from Virginia and you just moved to the area and I don't know what people like from Virginia are like, I'm going to contact one of my contacts. Hey, I'm meeting this guy from Virginia. What are Virginians like? And that's why keeping up with things is because behavioral reactions act differently depending on where you're at.
Tell you, it's important just to be in touch, and there are a lot of you out there that you'll tune into this podcast, and you've been thinking about getting ahead of this and being proactive with your planning, but you haven't done it yet. You've done what a lot of us do, and that's procrastinate. But the opportunity to kind of get the ball rolling at no cost, no obligation, no pressure. It's an avenue for possible success for you. And again, sitting on a portfolio is not a plan. We applaud the saving. We applaud, creating and building that nest egg. But now that nest egg has to work for you when you get to retirement. Not just a withdrawal strategy, because that plan, it's called hope. And that doesn't equal a plan. You need to make sure you have structure, and that's what we offer today on the program. Dolph, what I'd like you to do is kind of walk us through, if our listeners call, what's going to happen?
Well, first we're going to learn a little about each other. We're not going to pressure you. We're not going to talk product. We're not going to talk solutions, because there's not a one size fits all. We like to get to know our people. We like to see what their situation is. Are they looking for income? Are they looking for liquidity? Are they looking for estate planning? Are they looking for health advice? Are they looking for accumulation? There's so many pieces of the puzzle. So let's learn the whole situation. Say, what do you want to protect? That's one of the few questions I always ask. That's all we're going to talk about, because that's all we do at Clear Income Strategies Group. We work on the protection side of things. And that's how it starts out. And then it goes from there. And if they want to send more information, go to our website. We have a plethora of information, white papers and illustrations and yada, yada, yada. You name it, it's on there, and it's complimentary. We're not hiding anything. Because, again, we're educators first and we're advisors second. All
right, so the website, guardyoursavings.com. That's guardyoursavings.com. And treat it as a resource. Go there, guardyoursavings.com. And to grab one of our complimentary no-obligation appointments, call this number, 704-919-0149. That's 704-919-0149. That'll get you in, your ticket to ride. And it is a complimentary, no-obligation, no-pressure appointment with Dolph and his team at Clear Income Strategies Group right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. 704-919-0149. Call it now. 704-919-0149. Another edition of Guard Your Savings podcast is in the books. Closing word from Dolph.
Enjoy every day. Enjoy the people around you. Smile and always be happy. Take care and God bless.
All right, we're back with more Guard Your Savings podcast coming up real soon.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolph Janis, a registered investment advisor. During this show, Dolph provides general information, not individually targeted personalized advice, and is not liable for the usage of information discussed. Exposure to ideas and products or services should not be considered investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any of these financial vehicles. This information should also not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the fields of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate, and when redeemed, may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure investments and guaranteed income streams refer refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory services. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and are offered through Clear Income Strategies. By contacting Clear Income Strategies, you may be provided information regarding the purchase of insurance products.